Okay. It's really loud every time. Okay. So we practice meditation in order to relax the mind, coming to the body. If you're new to meditation, the best way to begin is to close your eyes. And by closing your eyes and finding yourself in kind of like a balanced posture, if you can, just feeling a balance in your body with your back against the chair. If your feet are on the floor, feeling your feet just firmly on the floor underneath you. And just allowing yourself, with your eyes closed, to begin to let go of any thoughts that are popping into the mind. Now, if that's difficult to do at the beginning because you can't grab the thought to let go of it or ungrab the thought, that's just an idea in the ether, then what you can do is you can bring your awareness, your focus, just on the rise and the fall of your own breath. So just allowing your focus to be on the movement of your chest or your stomach. As you breathe in and breathe out. You can just begin each breath with a very gentle inwards manner. And then outwards, just as gentle. Just breathing in and breathing out with your awareness on your body, on your chest or your stomach, depending on where you're feeling your body move with each breath in and breath out. And as we continue to drop into the body, letting go of the mind, feeling the chest and the stomach, you can just allow any unconscious patterns or stories or thoughts that are just happening in you, through you, around you right now to just melt a little bit more. Any story about afterwards or before this call, just letting go. Letting go. Letting go. Continuing to feel the body. And again, if there's any thoughts that pop in or are always there, again, not getting frustrated with the thoughts. Thoughts just happen. That's what the mind does. But just not following the story of the thought. And just with each breath out, allowing your body to relax a little bit more. So we can do that by gently scanning down the body. So we're going to begin by bringing our attention now off the breath, but to the top of our head. And just beginning the process of scanning down. So from the top of the head to the temples, the sides of the head, the ears, to the forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyes, the eyelids. Just connecting to this area. As you're connecting deeper with your own body, it might be that you're feeling the area of your body where you tic. Usually the body is kind of crying out for, like, look at me, connect with me, connect with me. And just know that that part of you, the part of you that usually tics, is just there. And you're in presence with them. And continue to just scan down the body. So moving down to the nose now. The cheeks, underneath the ears. Just feeling the mouth, the teeth. And then connecting to the back of the neck. Back of the neck is often a place where it can hold a lot of tension and tightness. So just opening, seeing, relaxing the back of the neck if you can. If you can't relax it, just noticing it. So just noticing the back of the neck. Maybe where the back of the neck kind of touches or connects to the top of the back and your shoulders. Just feeling the top of the shoulders and where the shoulders meet the neck. This area here, and just allowing anything here to just be at peace or ease. So we're going to scan down our arms now. And I'd like you to focus on both the left-hand side of the left arm and the right arm. So as we move your awareness down the arms, focusing on the arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, and then down to the wrists. And just noticing your hands, both hands, left hand, right hand, your fingers. Just noticing if there's any little micro muscles or ligaments that can just let go a little bit deeper. So we're going to continue now with our awareness back on our chest, top of the chest. I'm going to scan down the torso. Just feeling the chest, but noticing like the front of the chest, but also the back, your back and your spine, your upper back. Noticing the front of the chest, but then also the back, the spine, your upper back. And noticing the space between your upper back and your chest. Noticing that space. So you have the front of the chest, then the back of your body, the upper back of your body. Just allowing yourself to connect there. Even connecting to the spine itself. Then moving the awareness now down the back, to the mid-back, sort of behind the heart area, and also noticing the front of the chest as well. So we're kind of zigzagging. We're looking at the feeling, connecting to becoming aware of the front of our body, and then also the back of our body. This is creating a greater spatial recognition in your brain of your body. And then carrying on down the body to the lower back. And then the stomach at the front. And then the lower back. And then the stomach at the front. So we're just becoming aware, playing with that awareness. And then we're connecting to our lower back. And then to the stomach at the front. And then to our lower back again. And then to the stomach at the front. We're just getting comfortable with feeling ourselves. Feeling our body. Because the body wants to be felt. That's why the body is crying out for attention from you with the ticking. So we carry on down to the hips now. Feeling the left hip. And then the right hip. So we're going to do the same. We're going to go left and right this time instead of front and back. So left hip. Then we're going to explore the right hip. And then the left hip. And then the right hip. And when I say hip, I mean like the hip, the top of the thighs, the lower stomach, like this whole area, left side, right side, even the lower back on the sides of the lower back, like really feeling this part of our body. If you can. And if you can't, you can't too, and that's okay too. Reconnecting with our bodies can be quite difficult, not a difficult thing, but it can be uncomfortable because suddenly we start feeling things again. I know I don't want to do that. So we're just being with the lower parts of our body. And as we continue to scan down the legs, just connecting to the thighs and the hamstrings. Just like scanning down the legs towards the knees. And just becoming aware of the knees. the front of the knee and the back of the knee. Front of the knee and the back of the knee. And again, it's okay if the mind comes in and examines and explores and there's stories. The trick is just noticing that, oh, I'm thinking again, and going, oh, okay, let it go. Whew. I'll come back to the knee. I'll come back to the knee. Okay. And that's it. That's the practice we do. Just keep coming back to what we are focusing on at the moment, outside of the mind and in the body. So we are connecting to the knee, and then down towards the calves, down the calves and the lower leg. And down towards the ankles. And just feeling, connecting with the tops of the feet. Tops of the feet. And then feeling the bottom of the feet. The distinct difference between the top of the feet and then feeling the bottom of the feet. What's at the bottom of the feet? Maybe it's the carpet, the shoes you're wearing, the grass you're on, wherever you're sitting or lying down, just feeling your feet touch the ground. This tells signals to our brain, oh, we're supported, we're safe, we're held, we are comfortable, we are connected with the ground beneath us. This feeling and sensation of grounded gravity helps support us to relax. And if we don't tune into it regularly, we can easily go woo, all the way up into our mind. And we're learning here to just practice coming back down again into the body, to the feet. And trying, if you can, to connect to then the let's say the force of gravity. The force of gravity. Can you feel gravity sort of holding you? A gentle pull down. And this gentle pull down is kind of relaxing us into ourselves. Staying with the sensation of gravity. You can notice at this point that you can be focused on a thought if it pops into your head, but also letting that go, you can be focused on the sensation of gravity. And you can't really do two things at once. You can flip backwards and forwards, right? You can go, I'm thinking, oh no, gravity. I'm thinking, oh no, gravity. Thinking, gravity. But you can't really do two things at once. And we're sharpening the tool of your mind here to go, actually, I'd like to focus on this sensation of my body now, not on the thoughts. I'd like to focus on the sensation of my body now, and the sensation of gravity kind of through the body, because the body feels that grounded gravity, because we are this meat, blood, suit bag thing. Just allowing ourselves to keep dropping. Relaxing into the body. So keeping a little bit of that gentle awareness down there, grounded. I'm now going to ask you to notice the part of the body that wants your attention right now. I want you to notice the part of your body that wants your attention. And I'd like you to go to that part of your body that wants your attention. And when I say go there, I mean, like, bring your awareness, your focus to that part of your body. And when you get there, notice how your feelings might be changing. Notice any shapes or colors or thoughts that exist when you connect to this part of your body that's calling out for your attention. Being there. We're not doing anything with this part of our body. We're just being aware of this part of our body. So you don't have to try and fix anything or do anything. If your body wants to move or tick, yeah, like it will, and that's okay. And if it doesn't, great, that's okay too. But what we're learning to do is to just have a little bit more awareness in the space in which your body is wanting you to say hi to it. And so you're in that part of your body now, wherever that might be for you, maybe eyes, neck, ears, back, wherever it might be for you. Be there. Be there. And by being there, just exploring the space, the spatial space, like the front of that area, like explore like the front of that area that the body's wanting you to connect to. Then maybe explore kind of behind it, like behind the area of the body. Is that like sort of, in front of your eye or behind your eye, to the side of your neck or to the other side of your neck, wherever that tick is, or whichever part of your body is calling for your attention. It might be a part of your body that doesn't tick. Often it will be. But just being in this part of you, we are just exploring. So in front of it, behind it, to the side of it. But also I want you to just start like, let's say, imagine a squeezed up sponge, like, like a sponge in the bathroom, or a sponge you squeeze up really tightly, and then when you let go of that tight sponge, it kind of opens up and expands. I want you to imagine doing that inside of this area of your body. So we're just opening, like that sponge opening to this part of your body. And opening. And in opening, things move. So you might notice maybe another part of your body is now calling for your attention, and it might move. So one part of your body's like, no, look at me, look at me, look at me. And then another part of your body might be like, look at me, look at me, look at me now. Again, like nothing's ever fixed when it comes to the interaction and the communication between you and your body, your mind and your body. And what I'm sharing with you here is this exploration of the space between the two. Where in the body right now wants a little bit of your attention and love? And I say love because, like, literally your attention is inherently loving. We give our attention, our love to different people in our life. Our attention is that love. And so do we often enough focus lovingly just looking at ourselves? Just being with our own body? Being with the part of us that's sort of crying right now? And so being with that part of our body. If it's the same part of the body, stay there. If it's another part of the body, go there. Some people sort of, imagine like a light of some sort inside them. You can do that if you want. Maybe it's just a feeling of attention or love. But ultimately, what story you put on it doesn't matter. What matters is just noticing, recognizing, and being aware of that part of you. And if the body is ticking, that part of us hasn't had enough attention brought to it. And so we're just bringing a little bit more attention to this part of us. And when I say attention, I mean loving attention, not like aggressive attention, because this is important too, like how we attend to ourselves and people. Can we lovingly in presence look at ourselves? Again, nothing to do, but just being with our body. So again, imagining, if you want to, that sponge just kind of opening in this area of the body, just keep relaxing that sponge, opening, opening, opening. And then letting all of that go. Anything that's come up, any stories, any thoughts, any emotions, all of the direction I've just shared with you, we're just going to let it go now. Just let it all go. Let it drain away like just water washing through you. Like the stream, current of life, just washing it all away. Connecting with the feet, at the bottom of the feet again. Connecting with the ground. And so in this space, I'd like you to notice how different you feel, if at all, from the beginning of the phone call. Right now, do you feel more or less relaxed, more or less peaceful? Just noticing how different you feel. Like taking a snapshot in your mind's eye, if you want to, or if you can, just of acknowledging this moment. Maybe the tic is still there, but it's not as quite as intense right now, or doesn't feel as overwhelming right now. Maybe you can't feel it at all. Just allowing everything to move. And when I say anything move, I mean, yeah, maybe your body just wants to move a bit. Maybe there's an emotion that's coming up that, oh, it isn't nice, but we're just going to allow it to move. And just acknowledging yourself for showing up today and being here. Taking an hour out of your life to focus on your inner world, yourself. Like giving yourself credit where credit's due, and celebrating yourself as saying yes to looking after a little bit of my mindful, mental, emotional well-being today. And when you're ready, in your own time, if you haven't already, you're welcome to come back to the screen. Come back to this moment. If you want to drop in the chat box how you're feeling, maybe what you experienced, what changed or didn't change. Do you feel something else right now? Maybe you just feel a bit relaxed. Maybe you don't feel any difference whatsoever, right? But yeah, if you'd like to share anything in the chat, please do. What I wanted us to do in this first class was to start seeing the difference between the thinking mind and the feeling body. Because when I look back to myself, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't when I was ticking all the time, there wasn't really a difference between the two. They were kind of all intertwangled, and like the emotions went through the body, like it just happened so fast. Maybe the eyes are going, like the emotions are so, and the body is so close to the mind and what's going on, and I'm agitated, and so we're learning to create space between these. The body and the mind, the body and the mind, the body and the mind. The mind is thoughts, it's thinking, it's contemplating, it's examining, it's critiquing, it's planning, it's reminiscing, it's the thinking stuff. Most of our society spends a huge amount of our time in there. But to stop this condition, to stop ticking, we must learn that there's something beyond the mind as well. We must learn to relax, drop, and get out of the mind and into the body more often and in more moments. Because then the body can, the body's seen. Oh, I can relax. I don't have to keep getting your attention. Don't have to keep getting your attention, So the way I teach is like very different to how maybe medical doctors would try and describe what's going on. They'll talk about brain chemistry and things and try and numb you with pharmaceutical medicines. My perspective. For me, it's about changing the way we see this condition, changing the way we relate to ourselves, which I believe is the more powerful and deeper healing opportunity than just becoming dependent on big pharma stuff. So Lydia shared the anger, a lot of anger towards herself and her body, a lot of negative feelings towards this. I can now love my colon and be in a peaceful place. Beautiful, wonderful. So you could see the relationship to your body. You could feel and see where there was anger there, like holding on to that anger. And then with a bit of space, we can now go, oh, I don't need to be angry. Why am I angry at myself? And so then we can shift, transmute that. That is in itself alchemy. It's a transmutation of lead to gold, of the dark stuff to the valuable stuff, right? From the darkness to the light stuff, the priceless stuff, the valuable things, which is what we learn from each of these bad, negative emotions. Negative emotions. It's not necessarily bad, but like, they can feel bad and pretty rubbish at the time. But we've got to feel them to then move beyond them and flip them. Anybody else wants to share? Awesome, Susan. Thank you. How enlightening and relaxing. Wonderful. I'm glad you felt that and experienced this. Anxious Ben is anxious about returning to my busy life. My kids constantly need my attention, which is all good, but it does raise a level of constant stress that leads to tics, and my wife constantly nags me for having Tourette's. I hear you, Ben. Yeah, I hear you. I'd like to offer a reflection to that. I hear you on the anxiety of it. Sounds like you have a lot on. And maybe you're hoping, wishing for a little bit more loving attention from your partner instead of the nagging. It's what you maybe wish for. And maybe the anxiety itself is how you interact with the family from a place of more peace, that sort of in yourself. It's too much to go into right now. I'd love to share more with you sometime if you wanted to, but I hear you on the anxiety of a busy life. Yes. Yeah. And so what can you do in your life to go, hold on, where can I pull my energy back just a little bit? Where can I just hold just a little bit, slow down, just a little bit, just to know that you're moving in the right direction, right? And expressing that anxiety is like the right direction, because you've got to communicate it in order to move beyond it. So thank you for sharing. Yeah, and a husband who gets upset about tics. Yeah, right. And like our partners, if they don't understand it, it's hard for them to relate to us, isn't it? It's like they want, no doubt somewhere in them, they want to help, right? They want to help or support, but because we're not connected with ourselves, we're not connected with the part of us that is the tic or doing the ticking, how can they support us? How can they help us or support us in some way if we can't even relate to that part of us in the first place? If we can't talk to that part of us, right? Which is part of what we've been doing today, of course, learning to dialogue with our own body, to speak with our own body, to notice our own body more and more. And so it's difficult, yeah, when we get reflections or nagging or, getting upset about what we are going through, right? Because then we feel as if we have to kind of help them or make sure they're okay as well, right? But actually, we have to just let go of needing to nanny or care for everybody around us all the time. Quite often with this condition, we got to come back to us, come back to our body, because the body's crying for itself right now. It needs you. It needs you to look after you right now. And if I can in this moment, just share, just give you permission to just say yes to you. That is now. That is this moment right now. That is this moment right now. Okay. I think there's one more message. Julius, in tuning in, I realized that I need to practice mindfulness again and more often. This, along with 3-4-5 breathing, allows me to return to center, so to speak, and relax. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's really important and so powerful that the practice continues. because life out there in this stressful, anxiety-fueled world, the craziness of what's going on with pandemics and wars and mental health issues and prices of gas and all, whatever else is going on in the world right now. It's like there's a lot of stuff that makes us anxious, stressed, worried. So if we don't do a regular practice, if we don't regularly, just come back up. Come back to ourselves, come back to myself, right? Do the breath. Do the breath. Do a little bit of mindfulness regularly. If we're not doing that, we get caught up in the intensity and the stress of life. It's that simple. So may this moment also be a reminder to you for that this week. Just what can you do this week to just remember to come back again? Oh, okay, okay, I'm coming back, Oh, I'm just going to take a breath. Come back, come back, come back. When I say come back, yeah, focus on the body, go into the body, feel the body. Okay, awesome. Anything else? Any last messages, comments, thoughts, sharings before we finish for today? Awesome. So, well done for showing up today. Well done for being in this practice with me. Thank you for sharing vulnerably and honestly and openly here. And Tifen, when I practice meditation techniques, I feel calm, but have specific tics. When I'm washing hands, I touch wash basin constantly. Constant, yeah. I got it. Yeah. And so if I can just drop a little word of advice and wisdom in this moment for you, and when you're writing, when you see yourself do it, take a breath. Like literally take a breath. In that moment where you notice yourself ticking, there is nothing more important than going, I'm giving myself space and time to just be with me now. Just like that. And I know this is ridiculously simple. And I know that you can't do it every single time you tick, because we still got a life to live. But I am sharing, try to remember to do it in as many moments as you can. And don't give yourself a hard time if you don't do it every time. That's it. And if you keep just bringing awareness and space to the tick. Oh, I'm ticking. Oh, I'm stopping. I'm going to breathe. Literally, that can change things so fast. But you got to do it. You got to commit to doing just that little bit. Okay, we're going to leave it there. We're bang on the hour, so we're going to stop now. Okay, everybody, awesome job for showing up. We'll do the same again next week. I'll make sure I get the timing right for Pacific Coast, so maybe there'll be a few of those people turning up. And yeah, have a wonderful week, everybody, and see you next week. Okay, ciao, ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.